Hey guys, in this video I want to talk to you about spiritual warfare and to tell you that it's very real and to tell you what it is and how to go about it. So I used to get comments that it's just an illusion and it's not real, and I believe that people who say so are just not there yet. They just haven't really experienced it for them to say that. So yeah, the reason you probably haven't experienced it and is because you are probably still in the world, you live by the worldly standards, you live in the worldly ways, and so you are not really a target of spiritual warfare. Because if you are in the world, you're contributing to the world, to the enemy, to you live in the kingdom of darkness and you participate in it. So there is not much need to go after you. You're already where they want you to be. But whenever you truly decide to do the right thing, whenever you decide to live a righteous life, whenever you decide to be a true follower of Jesus Christ, when you decide that you want to have a good life based on, you want to grow your seeds in the godly soil. So you want to achieve great things, but you want to do it the right way. You don't want to make deals with the devil. You don't want to go about things in a dark way. You don't want to manipulate people. You want to do everything in the light, right? You want to do everything right. And so this is when you start elevating spiritually. This is when you start elevating, and when you are growing and becoming, more and more holy, when you allow holiness to enter your life, and generally, when you start growing in the right way spiritually, right? You elevate. This automatically means that you have to leave all the worldly ways behind. You have to leave whatever is not right, whatever is not serving the right way. You have to reject it all. You have to do it the right way, even if that includes suffering, going through hardships, because ultimately these hardships help us grow as well. So these people are the targets of spiritual warfare, and especially those who are transitioning, especially those who are leaving the old ways, who are leaving the world, is, I believe, who experience the most of the warfare. And so also, as you start elevating spiritually, you also start feeling things more, you start seeing things more, you start noticing the energies. And by the energies I mean you start feeling when the what's the word, like the vibes of people and even places and even things. You become more aware of things that can be sensed, and so this is when you see that, oh, these things are real. And it's because you are becoming more pure, and so you're becoming more sensitive to things that are impure. And this is when you do experience the warfare. So to those people who don't believe in this, you're just not there yet. And it's not that I'm trying to say that you need to experience this. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. It's just that, that's what it is. That's all I want to say. And so, personally, on my journey, I can tell you that in the beginning, the way I was sensing this was just, talking to someone and just feeling, the feeling that something isn't right, just kind of gut feeling, and all those things that tell you, like, on the surface the person may seem like the kindest person in the world, but you talk to them and you feel that something is off there. And this is where I remember I started noticing these feelings, and also taking them into consideration. And then this, as I was and am still elevating, I can see and sense more and more. And I went through all kinds of attacks, and also learned a lot about the dark side of things, because when you are generally a good person, and by that I mean you just do your thing, you mind your business, you don't like have bad intentions, so you don't even think of others, you think that others are maybe the same, because you think of people as you think of yourself. Or at least I did, and I do. Well, yeah, not anymore, but I used to. And so I would never, even imagine, and I would never even be too interested in the dark side of things, like satanic rituals and like witchcraft and all the things. But as you go through the warfare is when you start learning about this. And this is because part of deliverance, part of being delivered through it is also knowledge of that these things are real, and that we need to be aware of these things, right? It's like bringing the darkness to the light. It's like exposing the devil. And so I went through all kinds of attacks, and spirits, they do attach to people, especially. So as you elevate, you notice more and more of what's really going on in the world. And that humans are victims of the dark forces, and that it's our responsibility to cast out these demons and these dark forces, because the spirits, they do get attached to people, and so this is why it's very important to keep in check with ourselves, to be aware of what exactly we are doing and why we're doing it, right? We can't be ignorant. We can't just do something just because some kind of force is pushing us to do it. Because if you're not giving yourself enough, when you're not really in check with yourself, when you're not really aware of your intentions, and you're just doing something because of some force or some anger, or something is pushing you to do a certain thing, and especially if it's a bad thing, if it's against a person, or this is actually a huge sign that you have spirits attached to you, and it's the spirits that are pushing you to do this. So it's like you are allowing the dark side to use you for their dirty work. And truth is, they don't, the dark forces, they don't care about humans. They don't care. They just want to destroy whatever God has created. So they will push you to do something, but they will never really care about what's gonna happen to you. They're not gonna care about how you're gonna go about this when you have to face God, and when you have to face your actions. So you can just say that I mean, of course, a lot of the time, that's what people do. People say that, like, they don't know what got into them, and now, like, they see it was wrong and things like that. But, you know, it's in the moment that's important to be in check, and just whenever you catch yourself that somehow you are driven to do this certain thing which you see that is actually wrong, stop yourself and do the right thing. And this is how you will cast out the forces, you know. This is how you will take the power, you know. This is how you will basically free yourself. And this is why I also want to tell you that we truly need to go to God and to be with God, because as we elevate more and more, you know, there's more and more attacks, and you know, these attacks are they come in all kinds of ways, and you know, some of them can be very sneaky and very subtle and very hard to notice as well. And so, I mean, in the end, I believe that as we elevate, we will sooner or later notice this anyway, and it's going to work for us. Like, it's like God is allowing this so that this will strengthen us and help us on our path of elevation. However, we need to be with God, because you know, by ourselves it's impossible to do by ourselves. You know, it's the powers that are fighting against each other. So I don't know if this makes sense. It's quite, you know, hard to explain it when you go about it this way. But spiritual warfare is real, you guys. You start seeing spirits, you start seeing dark spirits, you start seeing spirits attached to people, and of course, people who have spirits, they're unaware, and a lot of the time, you know, people would get confused and blame others for, you know, I guess it's the spirits that also make them confused to see things in a distorted way, so that they blame things on others and see themselves as innocent or things like that. And so, you know, when they see themselves as innocent, it's like they can't notice that they actually have, you know, spirits, demons attached to them, and so that demons can stay there longer and pursue their dark agenda. So this is why we should keep in check with ourselves, you know. First of all, we should keep in check with ourselves, what's going on, and do the right thing for ourselves first. But then also, as you go about it, and as you elevate, you start seeing that people around you start getting sensitive to you as well. And that is because their spirits, the spirits that are attached to them, they become sensitive to your purity. And they hate it. Because to them, I guess the holiness is like, the Holy Spirit is like fire. It's too bright and it burns. So they start doing things sometimes against you